My most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, Sai Ram to all. This story is from 1996. In those days, in summer, when Swami went to Whitefield and from there to Kodaikanal, we would also go to Bangalore. We had a small apartment there and we spent the hot summer months in Bangalore. We would also often go to Whitefield for darshan whenever Swami was there. That year in June, when I came back to Sai Plaza, in my office there were two beautiful pictures of Bhagwan, and very strangely I saw Vibhuti on one picture and there was Kumkum on another picture. I was a little surprised and taken aback. So I just told Swami in my mind, Swami, I do not need this manifestations of your divinity. I am convinced that you are God Almighty and I don't need any of this outer signs of your divinity. But anyway, I had a feeling this was a prelude to something that was going to happen in my life. A few days later, while I was in my restaurant in Sai Plaza, Sai's little corner, there were a lot of people who used to come to have the food there in this little restaurant. So a group of colored Americans came. They met me and they asked, is this your hotel? And they wanted all kinds of details, whether I was constructing apartments and things like that. So I sat down and spoke to them, and one of the leader, a woman named Radha, she said, our Guru, Swamini Turiya Sangeetananda, she would like to talk to you regarding an project to be done for her devotees here in Puttaparthi. So I told her no problem at all, I would be happy to meet her. And these girls were like aghast. They said, no, 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 she will not come here to meet you. You have to come with us. And I was sort of surprised because I thought their guru was in America. They said that they have their ashram in LA in a place called Agora on the Santa Monica Mountains. So I had no idea that Swamini was already here in Puttaparthi. So they said, we will come in the evening. Please come with us to meet her. So I agreed, and in the evening after bhajan, when I came back to Sai Plaza, they were waiting for me to escort me to meet their guru. Actually, at this time, I was not very interested to meet any gurus because I had found Bhagwan. I had no inclination or interest to meet many gurus at any time after that meeting Bhagwan. But as I was getting ready to leave with them, I heard Swami on the inner tell me, take a flower garland and some fruits. So this is sort of normal when we go to meet Swamijis or yogis or sannyasis or any great master, that we would take them flower and fruits as an offering. So I bought these and then I went with them. They took me to a very small apartment on Samadhi Road. You know, very modest, very small. And when I entered that house, it was sort of like, you know, dark. And I had already made up in my mind before I left Sai Plaza that I was not going to touch anybody's feet. Swami was enough for me and I had no intention to do anything like that. But the moment I entered, and Swamini, she's a very tall lady, almost 5'10" or so, she was standing in the middle of the room. There was nobody else around her. The moment I looked into her eyes, she had an expression like deep tenderness and love, and I can't explain it. It was like she had been waiting for me, you know. The next moment, to my utter surprise, I was flat at her feet, you know, holding her feet. And I was very emotional, even though I didn't understand what was going on. So she lifted me up and then she sat me down next to her and she started to talk to me very gently. Uh, and I felt from that moment that this meeting had nothing to do with building a project or housing for her students here in Puttaparthi. I knew there was something else going on. So this was my first meeting with her, and then she told me, tomorrow please come and pick me up. I would like to go and see the land where we can discuss other formalities. So I came back to Sai Plaza and I was like in a different frame of mind. It was like this was somebody special in my life, I just knew there was a very deep connection with her, and more stories about that will follow in the upcoming videos. So the next day morning, I went to pick her up in my car and she came with me and she saw one of the properties that I had near the Chitravati river. I had some land there and it was a big parcel of land. I showed it to her and she saw it and she said, okay. And then I asked her, would you come with me to Brahmanapalli where Swami had allowed me to buy some land. So I took her in my car and when we reached the land, there was nothing built. It was just empty, barren fields in those days. So I stopped the car and Swami got out of the car and she took off her shoes and she walked on the empty land like a few hundred feet into the land, and she stood there and she had a beautiful smile on her face and she said, yes, I can see what is going to happen here. She said, Bhagwan is going to bless you to do this work here. And then she told me, your work is with orphans and old people, and then you would build a community here for Sai devotees. These were words verbatim that Swami had told me years ago when he showed me this land, and later on, I started purchasing a few acres at a time. Then she came back with me and I asked her to please step into Sai Plaza. That day was my daughter Sai Prasanna's birthday and I asked her, can I please offer you some food? And she said yes. And she came and sat inside the lobby of Sai Plaza and she looked around while I went upstairs to my house and packed a tiffin carrier with just food for her. I thought, Then she said, I will take this with me. I do not want to eat here. And I said, okay. And I escorted her back to her small room on Samadhi Road and gave one of her students the tiffin carrier. That day evening, she said that she wanted to speak with me again. And after bhajan, I went down to her little place. To my surprise, there were like 20-25 students, all who had come down with her from the US. And they were staying in various places, some inside the ashram. And a few of the ladies stayed with her, She had her own little room. And girls suggested in whatever place was available. And then Radha told me that you sent us such good food, Swami enjoyed it. And she said we were like 20-25 of us and all of us had a portion of the food that she had. And I was like stunned, how could a food sent for, one person, maximum maybe 2 or 3 people could eat it. How could 25 people eat this food? So this was my first experience of what Swami was, More to continue in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Sai Ram, Bhagwan bless you all. Kindly share, subscribe to my channel and support me. Swami bless you all. Om Shri Sai Ram.